Good evening, I'm Tyler West and this is Talon TV. Tonight I'm joined by Jovani Figueroa, the 2020 Treasurer candidate for Brockport Student Government. How are you doing, Jovani?
I am doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here. Happy to have you.
Same.
All right, so we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to have you tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do on campus, major, your story, that type of thing.
Well, my name is Jovani Figueroa. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Gotta love the city. I'm a communication major. I'm a junior here at the college. I'm part of two clubs here on campus, Men of Color, as well as the Club of Chest. And that's really my story here as a student.
All right, busy man. You want to tell us a little bit about what you do for the two clubs that you work for on campus?
Okay, so for Men of Color, I am the current vice president. I basically look over the e-board, make sure that they're doing the roles, doing the jobs. If there's any problems, they come to me, and we settle it before any events or any of our programs really occur, and that's really the work I've been doing there. Before that position, I was actually the treasurer for Men of Color. And within a single year, I made our budget go from $100 all the way to $4,000. So wow. I'm really proud of that. And then
big accomplishment.
Yeah, that was a lot of work, a lot of stress.
I bet. Yeah, but I mean, you know, big reward from that.
Definitely was. And then for the Club of Chest, I am still the treasurer, so I find money when we need some.
Okay, so a lot of experience, you know, being a treasurer. What's one challenge you've ran into during your positions being a treasurer? And how did you overcome it?
One challenge, it wasn't actually any major challenges within the position itself. It was more of time management, being a student, you know, working a job here and, you know, being active in two clubs. So it was really time management, which was my biggest struggle. But, you know, as you develop more into a student and a student leader, you learn how to manage your time correctly. And, you know, everything just falls into place. You know, you learn to roll with the punches and get up when you have to.
Right. Yeah, sounds good. And you said, you know, it's all about time management. Do you think adding this to your plate, you would be able to dedicate as much energy to the position that would be needed?
Oh, of course, because, you know, you always got to learn when to let things go. You know, I'm going to be letting go of, you know, my position in the Club of Chess. You know, I'm going to be letting go of my job in UP. Because I already have a current job with BSG. I'm also the service council senator. I forgot to tell you that.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
you just have
positions.
so much doing.
So many positions.
Right.
So, you know, letting go of two positions and, you know, and I'm just taking another position up to the next level. So, you know, you got to learn when to let things go and when things become too much. And that's during this time when I want to run for treasurer.
Perfect. Sounds like you're pretty good at balancing everything, you know, making sure you're on top of that. Sounds like you've thought about it a little bit.
Definitely.
At least. So what made you decide to run for treasurer for BSG?
Well, you know, I saw this year with COVID, you know, this campus took like a really big impact. And, you know, I was like, I'm already a student leader. You know, I might as well step up to the next position, the next thing. That's something that's a little bit more official than a club's, where I can impact not just, you know, the members in my club and what we're doing, but, you know, on a bigger scale, campus-wide, you know, help all students really get over this hurdle of COVID-19 and, you know, trying to make Brockport more enjoyable for the students again.
Right. Why should students trust you?
Why should students trust me?
Yeah, don't be afraid to sell yourself here, you know, don't have to be humble.
I mean, students have already been trusting me. Like, I've already been doing events and hosting events for them, and, you know, it's already turned out to be an enjoyable time. I'm already working in BSG, you know, I already have that position there. So, you know, it's just because I'm coming out more into the limelight, like, I've already been doing the same work, and it's been showing good results. So, you know, now it's just taking that trust and putting it on a higher level, I would say, and, you know, trusting me to get the work done that needs to be done. And I feel confident that I could do that for them. And, you know, with the results that I've been doing, the results I've been showing as a student leader, I feel like that builds up my resume for me.
Right. If you could use 3 words to describe yourself, what would they be?
Persistent, outgoing, and I would say determined.
So you were talking about the era of COVID-19 and, you know, the big impact that it's taken on our college. And, you know, there are some fundraising events that BSG always does. And, you know, now there are all these guidelines that we have to have in place, all these rules we have to follow. So do you have any ideas for what you would like to try and do, you know, for these types of events?
Well, I would say, following the COVID guidelines, you know, you could only do as much as you can. When, you know, if you want to participate in a fundraising, you know, you got to try to keep, you know, social distancing and mask and everything. And, you know, there's not much of a way around that. You just got to keep those priorities straight. But for some actual ideas I have for fundraising, it's all about knowing about what the students want.
Right.
Now, what students want nowadays is, a Roku TV, a PS5, things that will really grab their attention. So, if you manage, to grab one of these things, let's say you have a raffle, you could turn let's say, a P5, which is like $500, you get $5 from about 100 students, you already got like $5,000 right there. So for fundraising for me, because I've already been doing a little bit of fundraising, it's all about knowing what the people want. So if you can apply this idea to what the people want, your fundraising is going to turn out great.
Right.
But on the opposite side, if you don't, well, not too great.
So how do you plan on finding out what people want? Is it going to be through, surveys, or try one thing, see if it's a hit or a miss, and then, build off of that? You have any ideas for that, kind of a communication pipeline from you to the students, and then?
Well, one thing I would say is you always got to keep your finger on the pulse of what people want, especially in today. So, what people want today is, like I said before, a P5. People would go crazy over that if we can manage to get that.
Right.
But how I would go about asking, sometimes the typical method, with the survey, but if that doesn't get too much turnout, sometimes you got to put your foot out there, and if you take a L, you learn from your mistake, you get back up, and you try to see what really motivates the campus.
Right. So I'm going to wrap it up now with the biggest question, I think. And like I said before, don't be afraid to sell yourself. You don't have to be humble right now. Why should students vote for you?
Why should students vote for me? And I am going to be humble about this.
All right. Humble brag.
I want students to vote for me because I want to make Brockport a place where students can enjoy themselves again. This past year, campus, the morale campus have gone down, and I feel like we've all seen that. We've all experienced it. And, during this time, I want to give chance, enjoy their college years again. Because, after this, you got to step out, go into the real world. You got to realize, you got to start being an adult. So right now, this is our last bit of chance of freedom. So, I want to throw those events. I want to throw those union parties. I want to help clubs, throw the events that they're known for so students can overall enjoy the experience. So what I would say, why students should vote for me if you want Brockport to be the place that you used to know, where you used to love, you used to come out, have fun with your friends, and, help me make it even better than what it was before.
All right, Jovani, thank you so much.
No problem.
And guys, you can vote for Jovani on My Brockport starting April 12th, and I believe that goes through April 17th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Jovani will be right on there, and you can cast him a vote. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Tyler West, and this is Talon TV.